What's up, my pilots? Angryponcho here. I come to you live from my bed as I'm waking up. Actually, what? No. It's like 4 in the afternoon. Anyway, in this episode, we're going to take on our next huge project. But first, a quick update. So, let's go over here this way first. The twin quarries up here on the Red Mountain, I have both finished, and they produced a good bit of stuff. I was pleased with the results. They both were chugging along pretty quick. I think from now on I'm just going to do one quarry at a time, and I'll give them 6 electrical engines instead of the 4. And that should be fast enough for us to be totally satisfied with the resource gathering speed. And this one I actually was very, very foolish, and did not plan ahead where to put this thing. So I was like 5 blocks away from digging right through my skeleton spawner back here. And I really need to keep this so that I can get my soul shards later on. So right now, yeah, I was just lucky that I happened to zip past that and not run into any of the structure that I had already built back there. So in the future, quarries will be planned and placed more carefully. In other news, I've already recovered all the resources from that quarry and from these two. It's been placed back into the chests, and I actually did some terraforming over here in the desert. A little bit hard to tell maybe from this far off, but I took a big chunk of the desert out. Remember right here next to the corner there used to be 2 sheer walls of sandstone, like 2 blocks after the fence? Well, I just give this whole thing a big haircut and just sliced out the whole piece here so that it has a nice constant slope and just is far enough away from the fence, and we don't have these walls hanging. Because the way it was, if a mob wanted to, they could jump from the desert over our fence. So now they can no longer do that. I have also placed the very, very basic skeletons of our first 3 floors. So there's the first floor, and then the second floor, and then the third. And I've sized them what I think would be appropriate for their purpose. And there's a lot more space left to go down here. Room for 4 or 5 more floors, I would guess. So, and I just have a hole in the middle of the room here to allow you to... whoops. Oh, what am I doing? Fly! Fly, I say! Fly, you fools! Yeah, so I have a hole in the middle of the floor there. That'll hopefully be a convenient way to travel up and down. And just depend on the jetpack, really. I'm not going to put anything else here. Alright, so let me tell you my big idea for this room. It's the first room below the surface. The top part actually is above ground, and the bottom part's below ground. It's sort of like a sub-basement. If you look, there's a hole in the wall over here. And this goes into... This is where my quarry was. These are the barrels that quarry filled up. And it just happened to be just far enough off that I could put the wall on the inside of it. And leave this sort of as a room here with some storage for now. This is all temporary. I'm going to fill this in once we're finished with this room, because this room is the big-ass primary storage. There's going to be a secondary storage room, but it's just going to be for bulk items like cobblestone and dirt. Things that we use on a regular basis and have less than 1 barrel of will be stored in this room. And I pretty much have less than a barrel of everything except sand and cobble right now, so this will be more than sufficient. What I'm going to do is, these are sort of going to be like the aisles, sort of like in the grocery store here, and I've got 6 of them set up. And where the dirt is where the walls of the aisle will be. And in those walls I will have 2 rows of barrels. One will be along the floor, and one will be at a height 3. And then they'll be on both sides of each aisle. So there's a lot of space here for us to really spread out and have a barrel for every kind of item. Now that's a lot of barrels. So I'm going to start by... I think I'm going to start by putting the barrels in place. Or at least mostly in place. And then most of what we do in this episode is going to be me cutting in and out as I do incremental steps to build this room. So if you were interested in following along, you could. Now, these barrels were expensive. Not because they're that costly to make, but because I had to make so many. I needed about a little bit more than 4 stacks of barrels just for this room. So I had to harvest and a lot of trees. I basically got a pattern down where I would just put a big square of saplings down and then grow them all and then chop down all that wood and do it again. And so I got 4 1/4 stacks of barrels. So let's do it, shall we? So I'm going to leave a space on each end. And I'm just going to put some doit there. And I'm going to try to have all the barrels face out. So I'll be placing them like this, so that when you put stuff in them, this is the side where the GUI will be. You can put stuff in from the back, but it only shows on the front. So have all the barrels facing the right direction. So I'm going to put one there, and then one at, oops, you have to shift click in order to put a barrel on the side of a barrel. One at height 1 and one at height 3. So I'm going to do this for both sides of all of these, and I will come back in when I've done that. Whew, alrighty then. There's that. Pretty much 4 stacks of barrels all put in place. And I'm putting the dirt here just to show where there will eventually be walls. Alright, cool. Well, the room feels right. That's good. Gosh, there's a lot more steps to be done. So let's see. Okay. Next thing we want to do is basically what I want to have is this is going to be the main storage room. So I want there to be a chest somewhere in this room. I suppose over here would be a fine place for it. Maybe it should be a big chest. Maybe not. I don't know. Let me go and get some materials from the other, from the what is currently just the cave house over here. I guess we can go ahead and sleep, but just keep it bright. I hate that it seems like you can reach objects like way over there, but I can't use this bed until I'm really close to it. I don't get why they made it that way. You can't use beds until you're right next to them, even though you can reach them to destroy them. It's a bit strange. I don't know, just conflicting there. All right, so let me just need to grab some materials just to be able to replace walls and stuff when I want to. So I'm going to want to have some stone on me. I'm going to want to have just some cobble for building stuff. We already have dirt. That's good. What else are we going to need? I'm going to need a bunch of piping. So basically what I want to do is... this is going to be tough. Alright, let me just grab a whole bunch of my pipes. And, alright, we'll go from here. So what I want to have... I need a chest too. Let me just use a diamond chest for this purpose. I'll probably use leaves or some other transparent block above it so that I can put a sign right above it telling what it does without having to have an actual block there. It's keeping the chest from opening. So let me just throw down a diamond chest right there. And then what I want to have happen is you open this up, you throw in all the stuff that you don't want in your inventory, and it gets sucked down through some pipes to this floor. And then this floor is going to be almost filled probably with piping and machines just to process the stuff that's been put down here. So there's a lot of different cases of things that you could throw in to this chest. And it all should eventually end up stored in these barrels when it's finished going through the system. What I want to have happen is it goes down and then some things right away get separated from the others and get thrown into some machines. So I think the first step, should be to just get the stuff out of the chest, get it down to this room, and then we'll figure out what to do with it from there. I'm just going to use redstone engines and some wooden pipes, and once it's pumping out of the wall down there, I can come back in. Alrighty then, I'm just going to throw back here a wooden pipe with 3 engines on it and some torches just to keep those pumping all the time. And then down underneath, we'll come here and look for that pipe. So it's going to be just 2 blocks in the wall. There it is. Alright, cool. So the first thing I'm going to do is give the stuff some speed. So that's a bunch of gold pipe there. And then we'll just have it come on out of the wall here. Alrighty, so there's where we're starting. So right now, what we should have is stuff gets thrown into this chest, and I'm kind of going to clean this stuff up as I go here. So That way it's not a big mess at the end that we have to deal with. So that's why I grabbed the smooth stone and stuff, so I can, along the way, whoops, go ahead and do this. And I might even try and find a way to hide that pipe back there. I think if we can use mini blocks to put a panel here, and it'll look more reasonable. You won't see the engines and stuff. Anyway, should be able to throw some cobble and stuff in there, and have it come squirting out of this pipe. Right? Yeah, there it goes. Fairly slowly, actually. Those 3 engines are not going to be doing a whole lot very quickly. Alright, so next step is to start separating stuff out. So I want right away to identify all of the ores that can be macerated. And I want all the maceratable ores to proceed leftways, or rather rightways. So I'm going to use some pipes here to, okay, now, let's make this pipe go the right direction. Oh, I need my crescent wrench. Be right back. Just a side note, I don't know why this thing is called a crescent hammer when it clearly looks like a wrench. I don't know. Anyway, we want the output to go this way. So it's going to be, I had to make 2 pipes here because it's going to be more than, I think, just 9 things. So we now have, we now have the ability for 18 different things to go this way. And I want this machine to go to a macerator, or probably a few macerators. Gotta keep them separated, and then, or gotta keep them macerated. Go to the macerators, and then go straight into engines, or rather furnaces, and then get pumped up into their appropriate place. So I think that alone is going to determine that this area over here is going to be for ingots. I'm going to go grab some signs. We can make stuff more identifiable around here. So basically what I'm looking for is a convenient system of storage on this room, and I have the 6 aisles. I have, where is it? Come here, you. I have on a piece of paper here, figured out what the 6 aisles will be. It's going to be building blocks is one, and then food and plants is another. Ingots and jewels is the third. Then we have mob drops, and then we have technology, and then Zycorium Foundcraft stuff. That's sort of the other category, to be honest, because we've not done any of that stuff yet. And I know Foundcraft and Zycraft both have cool stuff in them, and we will get to them eventually. Anyway, so I think that I've now sort of picked out that this is going to be the jewels, and these won't be. These are temporary signs, just to keep things straight in my head. Jewels and ingots there. And wish I had brought another chest so I could actually put some stuff down. I'm so stupid. I keep having to go back and forth. Anyway, so I'm gonna have to program these pipes at a later time. So basically, I'm just gonna put the machinery in place here. So let me. Yeah, I need to just bring my whole chest of technology over here. Let me do that. Alrighty then. Wow, what a load of junk I have. Goodness gracious. This is a bunch of stuff. Alright, so, but it has everything I need. It's all here now. So, let's put in our macerator systems. So, I only have the one rotary macerator right now. So I'm just going to sort of design this system as though there were 2, and I'm going to have to come back in later and actually add in some stuff here. So I want half of the stuff to go to one and half of the stuff to go to the other. Hopefully there'll be room for 2 of these. What I should be doing is just laying this out temporarily with, say, dirt instead of machines. Okay, so I want a macerator here, a macerator here. Stuff gets macerated, chugga, and it's going to get power from the power grid, which is going to be in this area down here. So there's no problem with us having power to these. We don't have to worry about hooking up generators and stuff. It's all going to come from wires underneath them through the floor. Alright, so there's 2 macerators. They're going to need to have stuff extracted from them. So let's take most of this stuff off the mini bar because we don't need a lot of it right now. So they're going to need stuff extracted from them, which means we need to have some engines. Let me grab a couple redstone torches to keep these going. Now, I know macerators, and these rotary macerators get up to high speeds, so we're going to need to have more than just the 2 engines here. So I think what I'm going to want to do is actually have one up here for each of these. Whoops. Oh, there we go. We're digging right through the floor. It begins. Alright, and I'm going to move you to it's up here instead. So we'll have 2 going in this one. I think we're going to want to have 3. So let me put, there we go, 3, and then the torch can go right there. That's handy. I'm going to want to put a block of cobble down. Oops. Let's use cobble. I'm going to use dirt to mark machine blocks. Right, so now each of these will have 3 things pumping the stuff out. They'll all get in sync later. Don't worry about how wobbly it looks now. In and out. Alright, so now they've both been macerated. Gotta keep them macerated. I think of that every time. Alright, so stuff that's been macerated, this is going to go to furnaces next. So, hell, let's just put the furnaces here, too. No need to have tons of piping in between. So there's the furnaces. I'm just going to have 2, I think. That's probably enough. I mean, the system will just run on its own over time, so there's no need to really rush it. Now, hopefully I can get these furnaces up to speed to the point where they're going to need a bunch of stuff to... They're not going to become bottlenecked. Oh, you know what? This is really dumb. I'm not using any hoppers here. Yeah, I figured there was something I was missing. It shouldn't be this simple. Okay, well, that's fine. We don't need to move any of that stuff we just placed. We just need to... I'm going to use the crescent wrench for a lot of this stuff because it's actually really convenient for breaking stuff slowly that you don't want to actually accidentally go through. Yeah, so that's the reason this room has a high ceiling, is so we can fit hoppers in it. It's actually only 5 blocks. Probably should have made it taller. Oh well. So let's put hoppers on top of the macerators. I'll just do 4 for each, and that should be plenty. Hopefully, we won't have that much stuff going through the system. It's just going to have stuff thrown into it occasionally, and it should run fairly quickly. So I'm not going to put any extra circles on these pipes. I'm just going to count on the system not getting overfilled with stuff, which it probably won't get overfilled, because it's going to be coming from a quarry. And they don't mind. They don't bring stuff in that quickly. So I don't think there's any danger of the system overflowing with that many hoppers. That does mean, however, that we're going to need to move these so we can put in more hoppers in between. I'm not going to need you for a little bit. Alrighty. Oops. No, I don't want them getting mixed up again. I think from that very first split, we're just going to keep them split and then bring them back together at the end. There we go. So now the machines will be... Well, we don't want them there, otherwise they'll get... The pipe will go straight into them. Yeah, so we need one space of pipe at the top before the hoppers can start coming down. Oh, I'm out of hoppers. To make some more of those. Alright, so then these come out here. And there you're going to have output pipes, which are going to need engines. Just making a list of things. Can I make a book and quill? I don't know if I have any feathers. I'm going to need to make some notes of stuff that I need to build more of. I guess that book and quill is probably the best way to do that in-game. Gosh, I have books. I wonder if I have any feathers. I don't know if I've ever killed a chicken. Let me go look at the mob drops chest back here. I do not have a single feather. I have never once collected a feather in this world. Wow, okay. Nope, no quill for me. Whoops. Oh well, I could use signs. I can just do it with signs for now, I think. That's fine. Just make little notes like more pumps here, more whatever. Come here, you. Alrighty, more hoppers, more engines. There we go. I'll have to make a note, come back and do that later. Alright, so then these hoppers will come down to these, what'll be electric ferni, and then again they'll be powered through the floor. And then chests will come out here. We'll want this stuff to merge up, so we need an iron pipe to keep stuff going the right direction here. In fact, it may even be worthwhile to speed up the stuff again. So I'm going to throw in a gold pipe. I don't know how much gold pipe you actually need to get the stuff up to speed. I'm just going to try 1, see how it looks. Alright, so Okay, coming out this way. Good. Alright, cool. So this is already very close to where we want it to be. I just need to put the actual machines in and then attaching the power grid later. It's going to be another stage. It's going to be several episodes before we actually see any of this stuff in action, because it's going to be a lot of steps that I'm going to have to do before it all comes together, and then I'll probably spend a while off screen fixing it when it constantly breaks. Alright, so now comes the sorting part. So this is all stuff that's just ingots that have just been put in the furnace. So they're going to need to be sorted. And I guess if there's only, what did I send? 8. I could send a total of 18 things this direction. Because I used 1 diamond pipe, I can send 18 things. So it's 9 here, and 9 on the red, 9 on the black. So I can send 18 varieties of things this way. So when I come up into this other room, I'm going to have what I guess will be this very first wall here on the side. I have space for 18 things. So I have 1, 2, 3, I have 11 on the top and 11 on the bottom. So I have 22 actually, I have 4 extra spaces. We'll see, I guess, if I ever need to put more stuff in here, I can use those. Alright, cool. So let me go ahead and actually make this even better then, by adding a pipe on the top. I'm going to need more iron pipe now. It's all iron pipe from here on out. Go down, go down. Okay, cool. So now, red, white, and black. I have a total of 27 things. That'll fill up all those 22 spaces eventually. I'm trying to leave room for growth, basically. So now all I need to do is pipe this stuff over. I guess I could go ahead and get over next to the wall, so I'm not taking up too much space in my room. See, the crescent hammer is good for this, so you don't accidentally dig through your floor. Like a fool! Okay, I'm going to have this come up. And then what's going to happen is there's going to be a... I guess there'll be a diamond pipe. I'm going to need to make more room. There's going to be a diamond pipe. I don't have any in my inventory. Let's go grab some. I'm going to need 2 for each of these, and I'm going to need a bunch more along the way. I'm going to run out of diamond pipe. I'm going to need to make more. I figured out I'm probably going to need to spend about 30 diamonds on this. But I'm going to show you before the video is over the way I'm going to make up for that. So, 2 diamond pipes here. No, just there, not here. So, this way. And now I need an iron pipe. Oh, that's unfortunate, because now I can't have a diamond pipe here. Damn. Gosh, that's annoying. There's limitations. I'm sure there's a better way to do this. And I'm sure there's a better way to do this. There must be a better way to do this. But it's going to be expensive, but it's going to be cool. And if I want to replace any of these with chests later, I have the capacity to do that. So there goes a lot of... That's like a whole diamond. Actually, that's a diamond and a half, basically, right there. So it's kind of expensive, but whatever. And then these pipes will just continue along up here, and we'll do the same thing with a bunch of diamond pipes going along here. And since each of these barrels can only hold one kind of item, the yellow spot will just be that item. Like if this first one was iron ingots, I'll just put an iron ingot here, and that barrel would fill up with iron ingots. Okay, so I think that's the piping for that first bit. And that's basically the most I really want to show of the system on camera, because it's going to be a pain from here on out. So it's not too complicated, though. It's just it's going to be expensive because it's going to be a lot of diamond pipes. But they're easy to use because they're decision-making pipes. They sort things really well. I consider using sorting machines, but that would require me to learn how to use bluetricity and stuff, which I've never even looked at. So I figured I'd skip the learning curve and just use diamond pipes since I can afford it. So let me show you next how it is I'm going to be affording to use all this diamond pipe. And what it comes down to is minium stone is amazing. So it turns out that you can turn ores into other ores at a certain loss rate, whatever you're willing to accept, really. And it only takes 4 gold to make a diamond with the minium stone. So let me grab my minium stone. Oh, what is it doing? Oh wow, it's apparently an item you can actually use on stuff. I'm not going to do that. I don't know what that does. So, gold. I don't need this much gold. I'm going to take most of the gold. 4 stacks of gold. This is going to make a lot of diamonds. This is going to make a stack of diamonds for us. So you just put in... Oh, you see, look, you can turn 8 gold into an iron? That can't be right. Oh, no, it's just 1 gold. It becomes 8 iron. But if we put in 4 gold, it becomes a diamond. So if we put in 4... What am I doing? Get in there. If I put in 4 stacks here, I will get a stack of diamonds. Which, actually, I don't need that many. I don't need that many diamonds. So I'm going to make less than that. Try and save some of my gold here. Woo! Look at that. 32 diamonds from 2 stacks of gold. So that's cool. And the minium stone didn't even get used up very much. So there's 32 diamonds. Now all I need to do is grab a bunch of glass, and I can make all the diamond pipe I'm going to need here. So, well, I'm actually going to need more glass first, but... Well, that's wrong. I have it backwards. What am I doing? There you go. And so this is going to make 2 stacks of diamond pipe. Now, will that even be enough? Will I need to make more? I don't know. Let me think. Each row is 11. Okay, let me count real quick. Let's see. I'm trying to figure out how many diamond pipes I'll need just to go behind the barrels. So it'll be 11 times 2 by 6 is 12. Really? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12. Yeah, it is 12. So it's 11 times 12 times 2. That is bigger than 128. 11... So that's 22. 11 times 12. Let me do the math on my calculator here. 11 times... Oops. My numlock's not on. Derp! Go away! 11 times 12 times 2 is 264. So... that many stacks is that? That's like 4.5 stacks, right? 264 divided by 64 is... Yeah, 4 1/8. So I actually need to make about twice as many as I just did. So I estimated the right amount of gold to begin with, it seems. So, because I already had some diamond pipes. So I'm going to turn another stack of gold, I suppose, into diamonds, and then use them to make more diamond pipes. And, but if worst comes to worst, I can actually use iron, too. And I can throw in iron, and you throw in 8 iron, and you get a gold out of that. So... If I need to, I can turn iron into gold, and then gold into diamonds. If it really starts to get down to the crunch time, and I don't want to use up any more gold. So I'm going to use up these 2 stacks of gold with the minium stone, which is actually shapeless crafting, so you can put it in any orientation you want. And then I think that when I shift-click, it might actually be counting it as 1 transaction, because that's really cheap. Alright, so there's 4 stacks of diamond transport pipe. So I feel like I was rich for about half a second there, and now I'm poor again. I'm house poor. That's what they call it when you have a really nice house, but you don't have any money because you have a huge mortgage. Which is basically what this system is, having to finance all this crap. It'll be nice to live in it when it's done, though. Alright, so that's the system. It's a bunch of diamond pipes. It's going to take a while to program in each part. So I'm going to do a lot of work on this, but basically this is all it is. It's just a lot of diamond pipe in the back, and that chest is going to be sort of the chest where I throw in whatever I want, and then it comes down here and gets sorted. It's just going to be a lot of diamond pipes down here to sort all this stuff. I'm probably just going to have a chest, too, for the stuff that doesn't get sorted. It'll just get put into another diamond chest on the other side of the room. That will say, oops, or something. Like, couldn't sort this, sorry, don't know where to put it. None of the diamond pipes asked for this. Alright, so that's basically what we're up to. So I'm going to actually turn off the recording and play this for probably several hours to get all this done. But this is the most complicated part, is this bit that, okay, well this first filter is going to pick out all of the stuff that needs to go to... I probably didn't even need to use 2 diamond pipes over here. I could probably figure out a way to use just 1. Yeah, I think if any way I can save on diamond pipes is good. So using multiple outlets is a good idea. So let me see if I can just... Okay, well hang on. What if I... 1 second here, 1 second. So what if I go up and then do this? Then can I... So I need to have two outputs going that way. So let me come in from here, and then have, I need to use some iron pipe instead, I think. Send this guy up, and this guy actually is going to go to the right. Here we go. Yeah, this will work. Or I'll use extra couple iron pipes instead. So now I have this stuff just pumps into here, and then the red and the black both go this way. So that's actually just doing that same thing with one diamond pipe instead of two. So yeah, everything that comes in this way gets to this iron pipe, goes up, and then in here, and then has a decision. Nothing goes through blue, nothing goes through white. At least that's programmed. But the red and black both go over here to the top, and then everything else goes up to there. So that'll save me on some pipe. Probably save me, I guess, a dozen around the whole room. All right, awesome. So I'm going to come back at a much later time and finish this video when the system is a bit bigger, and I'm getting to the point where I need to put into the... Well, I guess I'll just update you guys. I'll finish this video when I've done most of the piping and stuff, and I can actually watch it go through. So see you guys in a couple days.